What's with deep? Going deep. Chad and JT.
What's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep in Chad JT podcast. We got episode 36 coming in hot, my dogs. And I'm feeling good today and feeling good for Coral. And I'm here with my compadre, JT. What up?
What up, dude?
How you living, dog?
I'm good, man. I feel pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I like that shirt.
Thank you, yeah.
The ranch?
Yeah, it's a Oboes t-shirt. That was my dad's hiking boot company.
Oh, sweet.
And this is, they would do their yearly retreat at a ranch. And everyone would shoot guns and ride horses and drink. And they would come up with their business agenda for the next year. One year the shirt said, make it a double. And it was a highball with booze in it because they wanted to double their sales that year.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Double the booze.
Yeah, so they said, make it a double.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, how you feeling? I see you got your passport there.
Yeah, my license has been expired for 7 months now, so now I'm constantly flaunting my global bona fides when I go to a bar.
Do you carry that everywhere?
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I mean, I know your license has been expired, but I didn't realize you still carry your passport around everywhere.
Yeah, I think I have to.
Do you get nervous?
About losing it?
Yeah.
No, that wore off after a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely... I like yesterday I touched my pocket and I was like, man, this thing could disappear at some point.
Yeah.
But I'm not scared of losing my ID. So I don't know why I'd be afraid of losing my passport. I guess one has more street value.
Well, you'd be stuck in the country.
I would like the opportunity to travel if I wanted to.
Yeah, you don't like the option to flee doesn't make you feel safe?
Oh, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
I just like knowing I can go to Canada, or I'd probably go to Mexico. Canada's kind of cold. Although,
Yeah.
shout out to Canada. You guys are dank, but I'd like to go to Whistler and film a Travis Rice video.
Oh, that's cool. Where's Travis Rice from?
I think Jackson Hole.
He's a Jackson Hole guy, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think I've heard that.
Yeah. He's a beast.
What up, Teton Gravity Research?
Yeah.
What, did you see this Mac Miller thing?
Yeah, it's
I shouldn't say it like that. Yeah, my heart goes out to your family and to the departed.
Were you a fan of his music?
Not really. I listened to like a couple songs. I always thought he was good, but like after he passed, I tried to go through his Spotify, and I liked what I heard, but I'd need someone to help me and tell me which songs to listen to.
Yeah, I don't think I ever really listened to it.
He seemed very comfortable with himself and very like at ease as an artist, which I think is a great quality.
Yeah.
And he was yeah. Just sad he was so young.
The Bro Bible guys were really bummed about it. Brandon?
Really?
Yeah. He wrote like a big, long thing. Because I guess he's pretty integral into the college, like, SoundCloud. I don't know about SoundCloud, but like college rapper, early 2010 era. He was he was like a big name in that. And that was like a big thing for bros. So it was a big loss to a lot of bros, I guess.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. But bummer to hear.
Yeah. Wish he would have got some help. But I guess, I don't know. He was probably trying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a bummer. Did you listen to Elon Musk on the Joe Rogan podcast?
Dude, I've listened to like segments. I listened to like the first like 20 minutes, and then I listened to the other segments. And he sounds like a weirdo, but like it sounded pretty interesting.
I liked it. I had to listen to it on a too fast forward. First time I've done that with a pod.
Why?
Because we were going to discuss it for this pod, but I was short on time.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I only have an hour. I was like, I got to listen to it on double.
Yeah. Were you able to take it all in?
Yeah. It just takes like a minute of adjusting, but after a couple of minutes, you're like, oh, I've always listened to podcasts this fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does kind of strip away their personality, too. You get less like some of the questions sounded dumber because they were faster and there was less like pauses between them. So I was like, oh, like you kind of need that space to adjust to the questioner's like thinking, you know?
Yeah.
But if it goes fast, you don't adjust to their thinking. You just hear the question. You're like, oh, that was kind of a goofy question.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was still really good. It was compelling.
Yeah. What was your favorite part?
I like when he went into equations, like when he was explaining what was needed for like a specific kind of like flight, or maybe it was all flight, and he was like, well, the mass times the gravity has to be less than the air drift times the airflow, and I was like, nice, dude.
Yeah.
Very cool. I liked his know-how in that department. I liked how he stayed away from generalizing about people. Like, he was like, most judges are good. They want to administer justice. They could make more money, being trial lawyers, but they want to uphold the law. So I think they're very good people. I like that. He had kind of kind of a superseding optimism about everything. It's like, the world's going to work out. Things are good. Like, people are better than you think.
Yeah, I noticed that about him. I like that. And then when he's talking about like AI, he was kind of fearful about it, but
Right.
He's also like, it could go really well or it could go disastrous. So yeah, I guess we'll leave that up to the AI to figure out.
The one thing that made me laugh about him, though, like, where I was like, shut up, dude. Joe Rogan was like, you have so many ideas. Like, what's it like to have so many ideas? Like, is it exhausting? And then he was like, it's a non-stop explosions. And then Joe like kept going, and he's like, so what is it like? And he reiterated, he's like, I'm telling you, it's like explosions never stop going off. Like, I was like, that's a pretty high way to value your own brain. And just be like, yeah, my brain is just
every day you're walking around like, oh, fuck,
yeah,
dude.
He made it seem like he couldn't get through a day because he had so many crazy ideas just exploding in his head. And I was like, at some point, you'd probably adjust.
Yeah. So what do you think of him overall as a dude?
I would have to say I liked him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably a million contradictions and like things that he's not taking care of that you could bring up, but overall I was like, no, I kind of dig him. And then his outlook on what the future should be, that we should be like these intergalactic travelers who can like exist beyond the length of our sun. I was like, fuck yeah, that's like really romantic. Let's do that.
Yeah.
But I guess like the realism of it is that like it's not easy to do that stuff, and the externalities can outweigh the mission sometimes. But I liked him. I'm on board.
Are you convinced we're living in a simulation?
No, I'm not convinced.
I listened to that part of it, and I like the point about how we might be in a simulation. And then I think Joe Rogan said something about, he's like, wouldn't you want to get out? And he's like, well, when you make, in a world like that, you make it a lot better than the world you're already in. So but the world that if we were in a simulation, the world that we're coming from probably sucks ass.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I never really thought about it like that. You just think it's like the same as like where you were before.
Yeah, or maybe even more limited.
Yeah.
Like you're trapped.
But
he's saying you're not trapped, he's saying you're free.
Yeah, that's one thing about The Matrix too, watching that, when they come out and you're like, man, it must suck to come out of the Matrix, and you're like, fuck.
That's why Cypher or whatever wants to go back in.
Yeah.
He's like,
steak.
steak is good.
Yeah.
I feel that.
I don't
Steak
blame
is
him.
good, yeah. I thought that's why it kind of brings us to that other thing, the Tyler Cowen article about how we know too much about everybody now, so it's made it impossible to believe in anybody.
Is that the fake news one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was just basically saying, like, imagine if every day you were slowly finding out like more truths about yourself, like all day, like people were just sending you truths about yourself all day, how demoralizing that would be.
Yeah. And
then I was like, why does it have to be demoralizing? I'm like, well, it just is, because we're so flawed. If we constantly reminded ourselves of the flaws, we'd never,
yeah,
we'd be bogged down all the time.
Yeah, you want to keep kind of an optimistic sort of like romantic idea.
Yeah.
I was talking about that with this girl the other night, and about her, she's talking about like her friend's boyfriend is like too rational, and it's just like a bummer.
Right.
Like her friend wants to do stuff, and he's just like too rational. And it's just like, it's almost like a negative thing. Like it limits her friend from like trying stuff, because he's just like, well, you'll never do that, because he's like, look how difficult it is. It's like, why do you have to be so rational? You fucking, if you just look at the possible negative outcomes, or if you just look at like, if you try something, like the possibility that it won't turn out the way you want, then why would you try anything? Whenever people do that to me, I'll say something like, or I'll talk about an idea I have or something I want to do, and then whatever, they're like, Like, oh, you're really gonna try that? And it's like, well, yeah, I'm still gonna try it. So fuck off. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just it bothers me.
No, of course. Well, because like, what's gained from them asking you that?
Yeah.
Like all you've done is taken wind out of our collective sails.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend basically who would always insist to me that we were gonna live like forgettable lives,
Yeah.
and that we weren't special. And like to
Yeah.
him, it was cool to say you're not special
Yeah.
because you're not delusional, and because
Yeah.
you're just an honest guy who lets people know how things really are, and that's kind of special, I guess. That's the
Yeah.
back doorway to special in a way, but I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
He's like our lives are gonna be forgettable. Like no one's even gonna remember us. Like we're just gonna be guys who did some stupid stuff and then it was over. And I'm like, I can't live with that kind of like casualness.
Yeah, because what if you do live with a memorable life? What if you do
Right.
create that life? I love daydreaming about the fantasy of like what can become, you know, or what can occur in the future. Instead of like, I just don't see the point in. I just think it takes so much out of living if you're constantly worrying about negative outcomes or like what's gonna go wrong. You know, I know it's human nature to think that way, but I think if you can sort of try and force your mind, or you're constantly implant into your subconscious to like keep thinking in a more, you know, optimistic way, then life is much more enjoyable. And even if you set out to do things and you fail, you still are. I find you're always still like pumped that you tried at least.
Yeah, I think as long as you're doing what you like, you should be all right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't always work out that way either. But there's you got a better shot doing that way than you do any other ones. Like there's no sure way to live a great life. You know what I mean? But trying to live a great life will probably give you a better shot at it than resigning yourself to it not happening.
Yeah.
But maybe there is a backdoor way with resigning yourself where you're just like, oh, things just my karma's just good and good things just keep popping up around me because I'm not I have like a warm, inviting, non-expectant presence. But I don't know. I would still go with the trying is going to give you a better shot at it.
Yeah. Well, I think having being warm and just open, but I know expectations always hurt, you know.
Yeah.
But it's maybe not like, I don't know, maybe not set expectations, but more just like kind of a mindset that everything will work out.
Well, yeah, I guess your expectations are more in a healthy way, are more built around output but not result. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have like a certain expectations that you'll do this amount of work, or you'll do these amount of good things, or you'll invest this amount of time. And those are things that you can control, but the results you can't control. So you have to kind of like detach from expectations there.
Yeah.
But I think like Elon Musk is like, I mean, you know, with all of his explosions going on in his head, maybe it helps him to think about it that way. And I don't know. Yeah, I think it's cool, all the stuff he's trying to do.
Yeah.
I just wish more of it would come to fruition. You know what I mean? And then I have friends who disagrey with me, but I'm thankful for them because they're very smart people. But they're like, but dude, he's like an asshole. Like he doesn't treat people right. Like he has like terrible work conditions. Not even talking about him, but just like other people who I would be more, who instinctively I would lionize. They'll be like, dude, no, like what about all these bad things they did?
Yeah.
And it's hard to know how to evaluate them, what the balance should be.
Yeah. I don't know. Everyone does bad things, so.
Yeah, but it's hard to know when is it bad enough that it needs to change the way we think about you. Or maybe it always does, but it's just it's a calibration.
Yeah.
It's tough. But Elon, as far as I know, you're all right. Oh, dude, did you read that
McCartney?
article about Paul McCartney and John Lennon that they masturbated together one time?
Yeah. I was, dude, honestly, at first I was grossed out, but I was stoked on how open he was about it.
Yeah, I think it was Look, there's one band that everybody says is the greatest of all time. I probably don't agree, but it's the Beatles. So anything they did to get there, you kind of got to sign off on as being smart.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, yeah, we shouted names. We jacked off together. And I'm like, good on you guys. If that's, he didn't seem to have any reservations about it.
You know what it is, too? I think the road really strips away barriers.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're at home and you're in your structure, there's so much crazy stuff you won't do. But if you just leave town for like a week, after a week, it's like full Lord of the Flies. You won't even believe the stuff you're willing to do.
Yeah.
Like when I went to Bali with my parents, like they would not have showered naked in front of me in California. But after a week in Bali, they were like showering naked in front of my brother and I.
They were?
Yeah. And we were like,
what was that like?
I was like, man, the tropics are rubbing off on you guys big time.
Yeah.
They were like in like a cave shower, just like free.
Were they like embracing each other?
But they were
How old were you?
11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not as weird.
Oh, if I was like 30?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know if they do that, now. Yeah, maybe it wasn't weird. I've talked about it before. Maybe it's not weird.
I think it's weird, but no, I saw my dad's dong till I was like 6, I guess.
Yeah, I probably saw my dad's dong regularly until I was 6, and then after that, it just goes. It's funny that there's just an age point where the parents are like, "You will no longer see our private parts."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Yeah, good deal."
Yeah.
Well, I used to kiss my dad on the lips, and then kids at school started making fun of me about it, and I was like a second grader, and I went home one day, and my dad touched his lips, and I said no, and he was like, "What? Why?" And I was like, "I'm not doing it anymore. I'm out." It stung him, I think.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but now I wish I gave him all the kisses in the world, so it's tough. I wish I tongued him.
Yeah. I think we all have that. I'm like, Dad.
I love you, Dad. Thank you for everything.
Oh. Come
He's
on,
a
open your
beast.
mouth, Dad.
Yeah. Oh, and they would scream out names to each other while they were doing it,
Yeah.
and then they'd say like Winston Churchill as a joke.
Yeah, they said that killed their boners, Winston Churchill. I think that would charge mine up. That guy was a beast.
Yeah, he was a tank.
After watching Darkest Hour, I'm like, that's a dude I could jack off to. He would galvanize my dong.
He was a smart dude. I forget what it was, but I read a biography about Churchill where it said that he had just a gift for like marketing too. Like when during World War II they created like communal eating spaces for everybody to go to, and like initially they were called like food depots, like something kind of like not human, not very soft, and he renamed them like community kitchens, and then everybody started going.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because he gave him a better name.
Yeah.
And he had like a real flair for that, where he could always like look at like a government program and then put a human name on it or human face to it to make it more accessible to the people, which isn't what wins wars, but I think it helps. You know what I mean? Because of morale and stuff like that.
Yeah, Food Depot. It sounds more like a pig trough.
Yeah, right. You don't want to go there with your family, especially in times of crisis. But then you call it a community kitchen. Everyone's like, okay, we're in this together. You know what I mean? And it's a kitchen. It belongs in the home. Like,
yeah,
we're one nation, one kitchen.
Oh, I should mention this. So, Stokers, we have a subreddit on Reddit. I think you just go to reddit.com/chatgoesdeep. And there's going to be a discussion thread for each episode. So if you want to discuss with other Stokers, basically whatever you want to discuss about the pod or anything else you want to talk about, maybe Coral, maybe M&Ms, maybe, the next one, Bad Boys 3 is coming out, hit up the subreddit. Get that discussion going. And, I think it's going to pop up upon the release of each new episode. So reddit.com/ChadGoesDeep. Or is it Going Deep with Chad DT?
I'm going to check those out. I'm a fiend for that stuff. Yeah, because I am curious now that I'm single. I got to hold back my horniness because this whole thing could just become about my horniness. It's that overpowering in my id.
What are you talking about?
How now that I'm single, I'm worried like the podcast, my side of it at least, will just become too much about like my horniness because I'm such a horny person. Like it kind of like almost supersedes all my other functions sometimes.
I think you keep it contained. You haven't done any horny stuff yet.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we talked about Winston Churchill, and I don't even know. I just start talking and I forget what the fuck I was talking about.
That's good though that we forget.
Yeah. I mean, what's going through your mind right now?
Well, my therapist, he goes, "What do you want, JT?" And I looked at him and I said, "I want to fuck." And I didn't even think about how stupid that was.
Yeah.
I literally was being honest. Like he told me, he's like, "Yeah, you sound like you're being honest." And then I was driving home like 2 days. No, I was driving like 2 days later, and I was like, "What? I want to fuck?" Someone asked me what I want out of life, and I say I want to fuck. What am I? Like, what kind of human being says that?
You're purely carnal.
Yeah.
You're a purely carnal being.
But what am I trying to prove? You know what I mean?
I don't know. What are you trying to prove?
It's tough. I don't know if it's yeah, I guess I'm just trying to prove I can get laid.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something about like I'm obviously I get super horny, but you know, I don't know. I guess I never really wanted to be like that dude's fucking like tons of chicks all the time. You know what I mean?
No, it's exhausting.
It's exhausting. It's not that fun. It's not that cool.
I'm not doing it, but it's like,
Yeah. You just want someone to fuck?
no, I just want yeah. Oh, it's the anniversary of 9/11.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, so I was on my way to school. I woke up in the morning and my mom said there's been an attack. And then she put my brother and I in the car and she drove us to school and she was like, "I want you guys to stay home." But I kind of wanted to be around other kids at the time,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And just like share the experience. And then we got to my little private school and they were like, "Oh, it's canceled. School's been canceled." And so we just turned around and went home. My mom said the funniest thing on the drive home. She goes, "John Thomas, do you know who Nostradamus was?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "He was a prophet and he predicted the Challenger explosion and the JFK assassination, and he predicted this, and this is the start of the end of the world." I was like,
fuck.
there was a long pause, and then I turned to my mom and I go, "Do you think it's the start of the end of the world, Mom?" And my mom goes, "Yes." I was like, fucking fuck, Mom.
Thanks for the emotional support.
I was just like staring out the window, like, how the fuck did Nostradamus know so much?
Yeah.
That was like, and I was like, he's burning like Elon Musk. He's too smart for his own good, this poor guy, Nostradamus.
Explosions of just disaster.
I was like, he's so, and it's so funny too, because it always gets into the thing of like, so Nostradamus, this guy lived 600 years ago, knew what rockets were, he knew what skyscrapers were, he knew what like Islamic terror. And she's like, no, he said that a pillar of humanity's commerce would be blown up by a villain of their own divining. And I was like, I guess, yeah. Is that what you think, Mom? She was like, yes. I was like, fuck, okay. Here we go. Rock and roll.
Now
Yeah.
go to your room.
Yeah, no, go to your room and relax. I didn't feel all of it, though, because I was so young.
Yeah. I remember I was listening to the radio. I was in bed. I was listening to the radio, and then they're like, "There's been an attack." And then I go into my mom's room. She was watching it. And I was like, "How come you didn't tell me earlier so I could watch this on TV?" And then we went to school, and it was like very somber. And then we just went home, and I remember my mom was pretty traumatized. She was like puking.
Really?
Yeah. Because my brother had just moved to New York. He's 22. And, yeah.
It's crazy.
But, yeah, I remember going to the skate park and lighting candles. That was the time of my life I was hitting the skate park heavy.
That's nice that you did that.
And we would light candles at the skate park. And then, yeah, I don't know. I remember Katie Couric a lot reporting on it. It's pretty gnarly. I remember like watching the news live, and like I was like to my mom, I was like, I think that was a person jumping out of the building. But I was like so young, I was just didn't even like. I just said it kind of casually.
But you're right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes children to observe that stuff too, because like older people, they're kind of like, they can't believe it.
Yeah. I remember how many American flags were there on like every house.
And there were people got the clip-on ones that you could do on your windows.
Yeah.
You know? And our
Yeah.
friends, the Pancos, they had it, and the dad was driving us home, and I rolled down the window so the flag flew away.
God damn it, JT.
And everyone was like, "Shit! Did you roll down the window?" I was like, "Fuck, sorry, dude." All right, let's get into it. Chad, who is your babe of the week?
My baby of the week is our hens, the chicken, for laying eggs.
Oh, that's awesome.
Eggs. I think eggs are quickly becoming my favorite food. I love eggs. I eat like 6 a day at least. I love scrambled eggs. They're delicious. They give you, you know, they're so nutritious. There's like everything in them. You know, you got those omega-3s, you got protein, and they just turn you into a fucking beast. So I just want to give a shout out to hens. Like, what up, hens? Like, thank you so much for laying these eggs so I can eat them down for an affordable price. You know, I go to Ralph's and I just stock up on like 36 eggs, and that should get me going for the week. I'm just really pumped on it, you know, and yeah, I'm sorry about all the factory farming and killing. I hope your conditions are okay. I try to go cage free, you know, and so I just want to give a shout out to you guys. You guys are babes, the babes of the agricultural world. Who's your babe?
My babe of the week is my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Leiter. She was really cool and like sophisticated for an elementary school teacher. She had like cosmopolitan ideas, and she kind of got them across well to us. And then she was my tutor for a couple years, and she always had a good honesty with me. Like if I do a bad paper, she'd be like, "This is bad. Like if you think this is good, you're wrong." And I was like, "That's good," because I could get high on my own supply a little bit as a 6th grader. And yeah. I just always liked her. Do you ever have like a teacher who left at the end of the year and they said goodbye to the class, like they were leaving the school?
Mm-mm.
At the end of 5th grade, she's like, "I won't be coming back next year," and the whole class is 20 crying 5th graders. Miss Leiter, no. Miss Leiter, no. All right, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is you.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. John Thomas. Dude, you took the bleaching like a champ. You took the burn like a champ, and you fired back with an amazing comeback. I just want to give you props for that. JT, you're just a legend. Every time we do the podcast, I feel like I'm in a master class of verbal usage and just knowledge. So thank you for providing that for every pod and just being a legend of a dude. You know, you're open about your feelings. You're vulnerable. And you're also a bro, and I love that dichotomy within you. So you're my legend.
Thank you, dude. That means a lot.
Yeah. And just, yeah, props. I don't know. You know everything.
No, but when you first started, I was going to go stop.
Yeah, I didn't want to go too long. It's just like, you're like, all right, this is painful.
No, it was nice, dude. We went out drinking together on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And it was
That was fun.
it was nice, yeah. Because it opened up the doors a lot emotionally. We really, like, the love was coming out strong.
Did we
you know?
embrace a lot?
Yeah.
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah,
I
a lot of
vaguely remember that.
embraces.
Yeah.
Your buddy was a good dude, too.
Gabe?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Gabe. What up? I don't know if he listens, but.
He was great. I could we felt a kinship with each other because we were both so close to you.
Oh, yeah,
Like
that's cool.
I could see he felt kind of responsible for your well-being in a way that was, like, well-earned.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun in college. He and I would just get blacked out and gyrate our hips all over campus, and it was a lot of fun. And then he lived in the cockpit, which is just like one room in like this building. I just love the name, the cockpit.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
My legend of the week, it's my buddy Andrew A-Bomb. Like from a young age, his positivity gave me a template for how to be a better person. Like I would see him in isolated moments where like no one was observing him, and he would just be just vibing by himself, like eating a bowl of oatmeal, listening to music, and just dancing by himself in the room. And I'd never seen something like that was real. It was effortless. Like he really did just enjoy the experience of everything that he was doing.
That's awesome.
And he would take so much care and time into all of it. Like the oatmeal would be so perfectly prepared, and he'd always be trying new things, like a dash of brown sugar, a little bit of raisins. And then he's tweaking. It was music that he often created, so he was tweaking with the music. And then he would just have these dance moves going, and you could just see that his brain was popping with ideas of how to make it happier.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's a beautiful dude, and I don't think anyone has like inspired me more because he lives inspired. Like he's inspired in everything he does, and that is more contagious than anything.
Yeah. He brings every time I hang out with him, he's just pumped. He's pumped on whatever he's doing, and he's stoked.
He might be more amped than us.
Yeah,
he might be more amped than us. When I'm with him, I'm like, how do you do this amp, dude?
I'm sure right now he's nodding his head, just stoked.
Dude, one time we went to Vegas together and we were saying goodbye. 2 days in Vegas, he hugs me and he starts crying. It's fucking beautiful, dude. I almost started crying.
I just had such a good time with you.
We just fucking raged, dude. We had so much fun. Dude, we'd come home from the clubs and just wrestle each other. Our friend Alexa had her gay friend with us, and he would just watch us wrestle.
That's hilarious.
He was a great guy. All right. Chad, who is your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is I watched Dunkirk last night. So my beef of the week is with Germany. You know,
solid beef.
I mean, it's been a while, but I think I still gotta call it out because they really fucked up big time in the 40s, and 30s. So yeah, my beef was with you, Germany. Like, you know, people don't forget you guys did some fucked up shit. And you almost killed Tom Hardy. You took him as a POW. That's fucked up. You know, all the atrocities you guys committed, that was not cool at all. So, yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to you guys. Like, you may be cool now, but you're not off the hook. Because I remember that beef, and that beef is major. And I've got my eye on you, Germany. You killed Matt Damon's brothers. And I don't think it's cool. No, so that's my beef.
Good beef.
Who's your beef?
My beef of the week is something that happened to me. On Friday, I went to see the movie Searching with our dog Reggie. Searching, good movie. John Cho's very good in it. And we're sitting in the second to last row, and about 10 minutes into the movie, 4 15-year-olds walk in, 2 guys, 2 girls, and they all have like a nervous excitement about being together, you know? And I was excited for them. I was like, oh, hell yeah, like young romance, man. But then they sit right behind us and they start talking. And the girls are being so loud and the boys are being so loud. And everyone who's sitting around us is probably 80% full of the theater, starts to kind of like turn around and look. And they're like, come on, shut up, like stop. But no one's really doing anything. And then they just keep going. They keep going. I'm sitting there with Reggie and my blood's kind of boiling. But I'm like, don't be aggro, dude. Like, come on, be cool. And then one of the lead boy, the more boisterous one goes, you know what? This movie sucks. And I turned around and I stared him straight in the eyes and I said, please shut the fuck up or I'll eat your dick. The look in the kid's eyes when I said it, pure shock. What? Did he say he's going to eat my dick? And then a lady sitting 3 seats over from me just turns and goes like this, thumbs up. She goes, nice. And I went, no problem. Plus I got the bleach blonde hair.
Yeah.
So when I said it, the kid was probably like, yeah, who knows what this fucking crazy ass will do. There's not a more terrifying thing that can happen to you. A fucking adult man eating your dick while you're on a date with a girl. Like, that's worst case scenario.
You're taking away their major tool.
Yeah, and I'm eating it.
Yeah.
All right, do we want to do some ads?
Yeah. Guys, boning. It occurs. And it can be fun. It can be sensual. There can be coming on both sides of the bed. But make sure that you guys bone right and make sure that you bone smooth. I'm talking lube, baby. You guys might be young, but there's no too young for lube, okay? So hit up Douglas Lubricant, the best in the business for lube. They will give you guys amazing flavors. They have sherbet now, strawberry, original, anal. Anal is so unique, and they really just work hard at it. So I just really want you guys to give them a shot and make sure that you bone well and you bone smooth with Douglas Lubricant. Check them out.
Douglas Lube. It's a great brand made by good people that I think are trustworthy. My ad is for UCI Baseball, specifically their pitching coach, Daniel Babona. I've known Daniel a long time. He's a reliable man. He's a hell of a baseball mind, and he'll take good care of you. So, if you're an athlete and you play baseball and you got prospects, go to UCI. They should call it UC Newport Beach because it's right there.
I have a quote.
Let's do it. All right, so now we're doing our quotes of the week.
My quote is from the song I'm Real, featuring with Ja Rule and Jennifer Lopez. Ja Rule says, hard loving, straight thugging. Bitch, I ain't doing this shit for nothing.
My quote of the week is from The Sopranos.
Oh, nice.
It's Tony Soprano and his sisters figuring out what to do with their mom. And Tony's so frustrated.
Ma, you can't come live with us. I'm sorry, but
Where's she going to live?
Tom won't allow it.
Janice was right. I won't go back to that place.
You got that right. They won't have you back at Green Grove.
Tony.
She was abusive to the staff. She was abusive to the staff.
That's my favorite line.
She was abusive to the staff.
She was abusive to the staff. This is a mob boss who kills people, who's so frustrated with his mom's lack of manners that he stands up for the old people at the old folks' home that she berated. It's so real. And she's trying to be the victim, and Tony's just like, she was abusive to the staff. All right, should we get into the questions?
Yeah.
All right. What's up, dogs? Gary here. First off, I just want to say fuck Chad for calling me out from my kneeboarding. I have arthritis in my ankles, and I'm sorry if I get too stoked for you while getting barreled. Gonna drop in on you even more now that you've told the world that you have a beef with my main passion in life. Fuck Puzio and Chad.
Damn, Gary. Sorry, man. I just I don't know. Honestly, you ticked me off in the water, so I had to let it out, and I thought this was sacred ground, so if you're going to drop in on me, fine, do it. But I stick to what I said, okay? You get too stoked in the water, you know? You need to tone it down on your claims, Gary. And, you should have just texted me instead of writing into the pod, because we could have just settled this one-on-one. But if you wanted to bring it to the podcast, then that's what's up. But, yeah, dude, sorry. But also not.
Yeah, like I said, Gary, you need to right-size your confidence. All right, sup, dudes? Boone here. Dude, so recently some ladies told me that they thought I was boring. So to spice things up with this one chica, I had porn running in my room so that when I brought her back, she'd see that I'm willing to take risks and I'm comfortable with my sexuality. It totally backfired, especially because the Pornhub shuffle has gone to some really raunchy stuff. I'm talking gnarly ass play. So I guess my question is, what should I do to make chicks not think I'm boring?
Well, Boone, his name's Boone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Props to you for taking the risk. You know, I understand that you're probably hurt and you want to, try and prove that you're not boring. But you don't have to try so hard, man. Just try and just have fun. Take risks and be loose. You don't have to blast gnarly porn in your room when you bring a girl back to show her that you're, different.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think you probably, if you do worry you're boring, there's other ways to make yourself more interesting that aren't related to porn.
Yeah. Well, maybe you thought it was sort of like a shock kind of thing, like people do like shocking art and stuff. And he's like, it's like so taboo that like when she walks in, it's like the last thing she'd expect.
Yeah. If he framed it as performance art, there's an added element.
Maybe he should say that.
I think he should just do art.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I would paint more and blast porn less.
Yeah.
We were just wondering how high your stoke meter is when you go to the mall and you get Wetzel's pretzels, and which pretzel fills your stoke tank, Peyton.
What up, Peyton? Dude. Well, as you know, I'm keto right now, but you know, that's not to say that I haven't enjoyed a pretzel in my day. I thoroughly enjoy them. I love any kind of cheese on a pretzel. Yeah.
I love Wetzel's pretzels. I mean, I love a mall and I love a food court. And so when I go to the mall and then I hit the food court and then I hit a Wetzel's pretzels, I get the sweet one. I go cinnamon and I dunk it.
Oh, hell yeah.
I dunk her.
There is something about walking into the food court at a mall where you're just like, this is dining.
There's options.
There's good options. There's like every kind of food. Then Wetzel's just comes in with the hot pretzel option. But I just love the tanginess of like a cheesy pretzel.
I love that.
You
Yeah.
know?
So I was riding my scooter home from breakfast today, and I did a bunny hop over the curb to assert my dominance. And out of nowhere, this girl comes flying past me on a bike, and I said, "Whoa, Speed Racer." And as I said that, a Domino's driver came past us, blasting Stranglehold by Ted Nugent. Nice. And she looked over at him, and when she did, she fell off the sidewalk and crushed a brand new Acura and snapped the mirror off and left a sweaty face mark on the window. I was laughing so hard that I couldn't stop and asked to see if she was okay. Am I wrong for not checking on her, or is it her fault that she can't control the fun between her legs? Let me know. Thanks, guys. Fuck Puzio, he's a bitch. Thanks, Caleb, a.k.a. Ass Eater.
I don't understand that she can't control the fun between her legs.
I think he's making a double entendre about like how she can't control the bike and she probably couldn't control this dick or something like that.
Yeah, I think you're wrong for not checking on her.
Yeah, it's okay to let out a couple uncontrollable if you're trying to help.
I think the more dominant thing would have been to check on her.
So here's the sitch, Stoke Gods. My dog's in love with this dime piece. She's a total babe, but she's crazy and he knows it. I want a good relation for my dog, but he won't overlook the fact that she's psycho. Could really use your guidance on this. And also thanks, Chad, for getting me to fight Big Carb. Fuck Big Carb, Jackson. Dude, it's a lot of momentum.
Yeah. Let's hope that we can keep this going for Coral. What was the question?
His friend's dating a psycho, and he wants to know how he could help him.
Oh, dude, I'd let it play out.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
For sure.
Let him figure it out on his own.
Jaloha, what's your take on global warming? Like, yeah, I heard it's bad for the environment. I'm all for that. But it also means more rays to soak in, a.k.a. a bigger and better bronze. A better time in the sun, making summer hours more worthwhile than they already are. Kind of conflicted on this one, boys. James.
Dude, I totally hear you. I've definitely felt that way when I first heard about global warming. I was like, fuck yeah. But you know what? Now, with the risk of like more fires and like a lot of gnarly stuff, coral bleaching and shit, I'd say, you know what? There's enough sun. I get bronzed enough. Could I use more? Obviously. But is it worth it at the expense of coral? Nah.
Nice, dude. Hey guys, love the pod. Amazing energy, and there's nothing else like it. I recently transferred to a new college across the country, and I'm living alone off campus. When I got here, things started off great. Moved in, no problems. People are friendly. Area's nice. But I feel an emptiness now, probably because I have no friends here, and it's getting lonely with my needs. And my needs aren't being properly met, so it's hard to function normally. Yesterday, I told this girl I've known from home that I loved her and wanted a long-distance relationship with her. Not sure how much of it was desperation or true love. She gave me excuses why we couldn't, and it left me in despair. Then I sent her a picture of my dick, and I don't know why. She replied, I don't like dick pics, and I left it at that because I didn't want to apologize like a bitch. I hope she texts me again, but I also hope she never does again, to the intense shame and embarrassment I feel for putting my feelings and dick on the line and getting rejected both ways. Things feel really terrible and anything sucks. Is there any hope? Thanks, guys. Martin.
I think your best move at this point would just be to walk away from the situation.
Martin, you are not being the guy you want to be. I think even the fact that you're cognizant of the fact that you wanted to be in a long distance relationship with her might have been desperation, probably validates that it was. I think you were looking for any port in the storm. I think she could probably sense that, and she told you to take your boat elsewhere, and then so you dumped your shit bilge tank into her harbor. I think guys oftentimes send dick pics because they want to control why someone doesn't like them.
That's an interesting take.
They're like, oh, you don't like me? Well, here's a dick pic. Now, ha ha ha, I made you not like me. You didn't reject me. I made you reject me. And then you saying, I didn't want to apologize like a bitch. You're not a bitch for a... It's the opposite of a bitch move. You're manning up. And things aren't so terrible and everything sucks. You'll bounce back, dude.
Yeah.
Just take right steps, and you'll be surprised how your self-esteem increases and how you stop doing things that disappoint you so much. What's up, Chad and JT? I was wondering how you achieve a level of stokedness where you can actually live in this world. I walk down the street and try to motivate by being stoked, and all I do is get hate, bro. So basically what I'm asking is, how are you so stoked? Isaac.
I just choose to be. And if people don't like it, then that gets me more fired up.
And dude, the truth is, I'm not stoked a lot. I'm a rocking boat. Like I go both ways all the time, but I just try to be stoked on the journey. Like I'm always going to be a vacillating crybaby who has a good time a lot of times. Just go with it.
JT's moody as fuck.
I'm moody as fuck, dude. Totally. I strive for things, and then I like get angry at the striving or the thing. It's like, that's life, dude. You just got to be okay. You keep trying to improve, but you got to be stoked on all of it. That's the key. Be stoked on all of it. Hey bros, my name is Isaac, another Isaac, I think, but I go by Isaac to all of my amigos. Recently, my stoke tank has been super low. I think it's because right now at my age, all my bros are getting married or in serious relationships. I just feel super bummed out because they're all growing up and single me is just chilling here alone. What should I do when all my compads have moved on to bigger and better things? And also, how will I know I've met the love of my life like they have? Stay stoked, Isaac. Isaac, I like it because you're yearning for more. But my dog, everything has its pros and cons. I mean, marriage is a good thing if it's, being with someone you love is a good thing, but waiting is a good thing too.
Yeah, don't force it. Let things happen as they should.
You're going to find the person for you. It just might be a little longer down the road, but you might be better off for it. Some of those friends might be divorced when you meet the right person.
Yeah.
I don't wish that on them. Good luck to them, but that's the reality of it.
You know what the best move I think is don't try and force it. Just instead prepare yourself for the moment, Educate yourself, work on yourself, improve yourself so that when that person comes around, then you're ready for it. You don't kind of fuck it up. So yeah, I'd focus on yourself, improving yourself so that you can be the best person you can be and you can attract the best person you can into your life instead of just trying to be like, I need this right now, because that never works out.
It's like there's a great quote from that song, Wear Sunscreen, where it's just like a bunch of life maxims over like a yoga beat, where he says, life's a race and in the end it's only with yourself. And then the last one is from a stoker that Chad and I met. She was super sweet. She's a honorary babe of the week this week. Her name's Julie. Julie, thanks so much for meeting Chad and I, and or talking to Chad and I. We really appreciate the fandom. You're a sweetheart. It was really good to get to know you. And she had a question where she said, how when I go out to bars alone, do I not get hit on by guys I don't like and get hit on by the guys I do like?
How do I go out to bars alone, not get hit on by guys I don't like?
Yeah.
And get hit on by the guys I do like?
And this is what I said. Or here's what I think. It's sort of the cost of doing business. And I think here's where the main issue comes from is I go out to bars and my number one fear is the opposite. My fear is that no one's going to talk to me. And how do I talk to anyone? So I think when most guys see a pretty girl, their thinking is, oh, she's like me. She doesn't want to be alone. She wants to talk to someone. They don't realize that the woman's reality is so different and that she actually has to push away people sometimes. Not all the time, obviously. I don't mean to generalize. But in Julie's case, it seemed like. And so, Julie, I'm sorry. I think that's just the way it's going to happen sometimes that, you know, you got to kiss a few toads to get to your prince or whatever. Guys aren't great at reading the message. And our basic hardwiring is that when we go out in public, people don't really want to talk to us. So it feels like the thing that everybody would want to do is talk to someone. But it's not the case.
Julie, great to meet you. Super fun. And yeah, thanks for your fandom and all that stuff. It's great hanging. Yeah, I don't know.
She also said that our podcast was the entourage of podcasts.
I'm not sure what she means by that.
Yeah, I don't either. I guess you're Vinny Chase, and I'm like, hopefully I'm E or Ari. But
I say Ari.
yeah, I don't know why she got that vibe from either of us. I watched Entourage.
I loved when I believe it was Brian Callen was playing the guy who like got his eyes worked on, and then Ari was like losing his edge a little bit, and then but then he gets it back, and he comes back into the agency, and like he's like where's I forget his character's name. Where's Todd? He's like, he's in the conference room. He's like, why would he be in his office at 3 p.m.? And he comes in, they're like playing like eye games, you know, and he's like, great work, Todd. Let me see if you can read this. And he writes, get the fuck out. And he goes, you're fired. And in case your ears are fucked, get the fuck out. And the next person I see juggling, and he does this with his hands, baton twirling or tap dancing. I forget the rest of the line, but.
You want to wrap it?
Yeah, guys, that'll be it for episode 36 of the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. Thank you guys so much for writing in, for being stokers, for supporting Coral. Check out the subreddit, reddit.com/ChadGoesDeep, and leave us. Oh, should we do a review?
Oh, yeah, review of the week.
This comes from FBC 2010. The #1 podcast for shredding, bronzing, and kicking it with your bros. Good review.
Hell yeah. Thank you, dude.
And guys, that'll be it for episode 36. Thank you guys so much. See you later.
If you need advice, these guys are really nice.